Hey, this guy wants to buy my house. Isn't that great? Good afternoon. So, have you ever gotten one of those postcards where someone says they want to buy your house, or you're driving down the street and uh, and it says, "Hey, I want to buy your house." What's that about? Well, I was reading on Realtor.com the other day, and it says that apparently that this has become an epidemic. It says unsolicited offers for purchase are everywhere, and it's because of the market we're in. But I don't think it's because of the market. I think it's because of technology, and I want to go over the article and see if by the end you agree with me. Here we go. So it says, "Help! Buyers are stalking my home. The weird world of unsolicited offers." And so here's where it gets. If you're one of those lucky people who own a home in a hot area, it's a pretty sweet feeling. You made a good real estate call. If you decide to sell, all signs point to it being an easy and lucrative transaction. It's all enough to make a person do a Snoopy-style happy dance. But lately, there's a downside to being in a desirable property, an avalanche of unsolicited offers. So I disagree with that. But let's just look over some of the high points of the article. So it says, many home buyers are reporting that these sell me your house requests are pouring in via phone calls and text messages, even if their number is unlisted. Owners are finding letters and notes left in their mailbox or slip beneath their front door. The words all cash often figure prominently. Residents even report that they're receiving postcards with photos of their homes and the words, "I'm ready to buy your house." Yep, someone stood outside and took a picture without their knowing it. Creepy. And then it goes into understand who is behind the outreach. It says this is actually a big problem in Nashville right now. Because the local real estate market has experienced record growth in property values and sales, there are a lot of investors on the market looking to shake out their next fix and flip. Since there's so much money to be made, they are very aggressive in their search for new homes to purchase, calling, leaving notes on doors, and even texting. And then I got to the bottom because, I just did. And it says, let's not overlook how uncomfortable it can be to receive these unsolicited offers. It's an annoying intrusion and makes some people feel as if they're being stalked. I received a call myself last week, and when I asked how they got my number, they said they found it attached to my parcel information. I honestly don't know how to avoid the privacy issue outside of blocking each individual call so they can't reach out again. So that's what the article says. I have some thoughts. I don't have so many questions as thoughts, so I thought we should go over them. Here we go. Number one, I don't accept the premise that because the real estate market is historically hot right now, we're seeing an increased number of unsolicited offers. Rather, I think it has to do with technology. And we'll take a look at this a little later, so I'll just kind of put together my case. So one of the things I thought was interesting, I'll be sitting with my friends, and what's surprising to me is people are always surprised when they get the postcard with the picture of their house, and it says so and so wants to buy it. Like the picture's coming from Google Maps 95% of the time. It's not like someone is standing outside your house snapping a picture of it. Who really has time for that? Now, you tell me in the comment section, do you think someone's actually standing outside your house and taking a picture of it and then sending you a text or something and saying, "I want to buy your house"? That would be creepy. That would be creepy. But for the most part, the ones that I've seen, and I get them too, are, from Google Maps. So I thought it was interesting the article talks about who the letters are coming from. And so who's it coming from? Well, real estate investors mainly, because a real estate agent typically isn't going to list a house that way. That's not how they're going to market. I mean, we would like to list your house, but we don't particularly want to buy it now. You get into we'll list your house with us and we'll buy it guarantee. That's what some people do. I've got another video on that. Or if I don't, I need to make one. But anyway, the same people who put up "I'd like to buy your house" on telephone poles. But there is a new twist, and that's the Ibuyer. Companies like Opendoor and OfferPad, and it used to be Zillow before they blew up, have begun to sanitize the real estate investor business. With tons of Wall Street money behind them, they can advertise legitimately and usually beat the small-time local home flipper to the lead. So this is not a new concept, by the way. This has been going on for 100 years. I mean, there are some differences between the iBuyer and the wholesaler or house flipper model. The iBuyer will buy, repair, and sell the home, where the flipper might just flip the title to somebody else. And then doesn't matter. They're all looking for that one person who's either uninformed on the value of their home or truly desperate. What I thought was interesting in the article is the problem is that they are too aggressive. And that's the problem. It's not the practice of trying to dupe people out of their house or take advantage of someone desperate. That's just me. Now, full disclosure, I've worked in property investments in the past. No question. Worked for house flippers in the past. I've fixed and flipped houses before in the past. I don't want you to think that I don't know about this business. And you know, didn't like it. So then it got interesting in the article. It says, let's not overlook how uncomfortable it can be to receive these unsolicited offers. It's an annoying intrusion to make some people feel as if they're being stalked. So the quote comes, I received a call myself last week, and when I asked how they got my number, they said they found it attached to my parcel information. I honestly don't know how to avoid the privacy issue outside of blocking each individual call so they can't reach out again. But how is that any different than a traditional campaign of traditional advertising campaign, like where Facebook knows everything about you and targets you directly for a product, or a traditional agent goes door knocking in a neighborhood to try and drum up business? To me, it's just new. It's the technology that's driving this. We can now send 1,000 postcards, each with a different picture of the house on it, in seconds. I can set up a call center in the Philippines to call people all day long in a city or neighborhood. And let me do the script for you let me do the script that normally goes along with it. So it starts off with, I'll say, somebody will call me, I'll say, hello. They'll say, hello, this is Mrs. Field. Or they'll say, hello, is this Mrs. Field? And I'll be like, no. And they'll be like, I'm sorry, do you own 345 Broad Street? I'll be like, no. And then they'll say, I'm sorry, I'm looking for a property to buy. Do you have any property available for sale? And then, if you're like, oh, yeah, sure. I just, when I was just doing my laundry and, now that you've called me, yeah, I'm going to sell this house. Do you want to buy it? Doesn't work, but, they have no downside. What, they're wasting someone's time in the Philippines? There's also the text. So the text version is this. And I'll get a text. They'll say, welcome, we're looking to buy 345 Oregon Street. And I'll be like, I don't own 345 Oregon Street. And they say, I'm sorry, we're investors and we're looking to buy property. When would be a good time to call? And all of this is being done automatically. There's no one typing in all the text. The only time they actually look at the replies is when someone actually responds with a time, and then they get interested. But it's the technology that's made the practice of unsolicited marketing to buy property so much easier. It's not about the hot market. As when the market goes down, these methods will still be used to acquire property as a wholesaler or iBuyer. This issue isn't going to go away. I mean, it's already pretty creepy, but it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Do you not remember like the yellow letter writing campaign where you take a yellow legal pad and then you can either hand write that you're interested in buying a property, or there's printer companies that'll actually print it and make it look like handwriting? That's an unsolicited offer to buy property. Gosh, on the list of things to be worried about in life, unsolicited offers to buy property seems to be pretty low on that list. But I thought I'd make a video on it just in case. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'll catch you on the next one.